who will be moderating the AMA with me.
What API does? I'm not really sure I understand. So Bubbles work on notification API, and you can have conversation inside the bubble. So yeah, not really sure I understood the question.
Sorry, I was on mute. I missed it. So yeah, the question is for Saurabh from Trishna that what about the data if we auto reset the permissions for storage? I think Saurabh is facing some issues, so if any one of you can pick this question up if you want to.
So if I understand correctly, the question is like if the permission for storage is auto resetted, what happens to the data which was already stored? So the data will remain wherever it is. So resetting permissions won't really affect, like it won't delete data. So it's just you can no longer access storage if the permission was taken away. Existing data should not get deleted in any manner. But of course, you won't be able to access it because, I think Saurabh is here.
Yes, Saurabh.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you
I was
for
thinking.
answering it.
Yeah, sorry. What was the question?
So the question is, what about the data if we auto reset the permissions for storage?
The data would still be there inside the app. It's just it will not be available for you to query. So if the permission is being granted all over again, then you can get that data all over again. And if it's your own app's data, then that's always available if it's inside your app's own storage.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jiten and Saurabh, for answering these questions. Moving ahead with the next question for Pankaj, and it has been asked by Bharat that can we check that how many users are connected to Cloud Firestore database programmatically?
Uh, there we do not have a direct support for this actually. We cannot check the number of users who are connected to the Firebase either to the real-time database or to the Cloud Firestore programmatically. But yes, there is a way where we could add a counters. But if your question is about connected to the Firestore, so if your question is about the number of users who are online currently, that we do not have support for this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pankaj, for answering this question. So the next question is by me only to you, Kamal. I'm so sorry that you got less time to speak about design for Android. So if you can just talk more about design guidelines a bit more, the best practices which one should follow.
Yeah, sure, Varsha. If be specific, you don't have that much of guidelines available, but no, you need to follow material guidelines for sure. That are the best practices. But one thing that I missed during my session was that accessibility. So whenever you are designing your Android application, it's always very important to have accessibility options. So whenever you design your Android application in terms of text or images, so do keep in mind accessibility option as well. So yeah, if you follow the particular guidelines, whatever I described, constraints layout, constant layout, material guidelines, and maybe more use of svg images, that should lead to a good Android design for sure.
Okay, thank you so
And
much, Kamal.
yeah.
Yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah, so I was just saying that if you want more description about this, you can always go to material.io /Android, where all the guidelines are specifically described for Android applications in terms of icons, what needs to be used. If you want specific designs for Android or round icons for launcher icons as well in Android applications, that are also available. So each and every guidelines is available in material.io. But again, it depends how you are following it. Moreover, we as developers, if I talk specifically about developers, we don't get into that much depth about Android designing, because all the designs are being provided by UI UX designers, which also refer these material guidelines. But it's always good to have some sort of knowledge about this designing thing in Android, so that you can always go back to your UI UX designers saying that this is not as per material guidelines, and that can be corrected. So if you want to avoid multiple issues in different platforms for Android, yeah, so you can always go to material.io.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Kamal, for this answer. Moving back to Jitin, this question has been asked by Trishna that how to run applications that have recent features, like recent Android features, maybe.
Okay, how to run bit weird question. So I think if you want to target the latest features, just start targeting SDK versions. So basically, if the question is like, how do I get the latest features on my application? So let's say you want to start using Android 11 features. The first thing you need to do is set up target SDK as 30, which is available now. So you can start using those features in your application. Some of the platform specific features may have to be basically guarded via if check, basically because they might not work on lower API versions. So that's about it. Just change your target SDK versions and make sure any platform breaking change like scope storage or something like that, you have written code for that, like accessing scope storage and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So the next question is for you, Saurabh. Do these permission options are also available for system applications?
Do these permission options? I think this question is about auto reset permissions, and if that's the case, then yes, they will also apply to system apps. But my concern there would be like system apps, mostly people tend to use them frequently, so they might not trigger in for them because the inactivity period needs to be a couple of months. But if yes, there's a system app which hasn't been used for a couple of months, then the auto reset should apply for them as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. Pankaj, the question to you is from Amanpreet Kaur that can we change light and dark theme dynamically in Fastore or Firebase maybe?
Yes, if the objective is just to change the theme of your application, then I believe that Firebase support is really not needed. We have a dark and light theme direct supported from the Android application itself. Even the Material Design Library 1.1 give this support. But even if you want to control from the Firebase, then remote config is the service. Using remote config, you can set this kind of themes where you want to enable, say, light theme, dark theme, or any other special themes which you want to set for special occasions. Then yes, you can do this using remote config service.
Okay, thank you. Any one of you can, like, if you just want to pick this question up, maybe Kamal, Jitin, Saurabh.
Yeah, sure. Varsha, I did had this use case in one of my application where we give user a settings option where he can opt for light and dynamic themes or basically switch between themes. So what happens is basically whenever you give this option to user and users switches from one theme to another, the app needs to be restarted and everything needs to be readjusted according to the theme. So yes, you can make your theme light and dark dynamically in Android for sure.
Okay, thank you, Kamal, for this answer. So the next question is for you, Kamal. I don't know the name of the person. So you said that we should use SVG images, but if we need to choose any other format, which one will you suggest? Like, I don't have any option of SVG image. So which image format should we go? Like, should I go with?
No, no. If I, it is a recommendation. There are other formats available as well that you can use apart from SVG images. We still, one of my application we are using PNG images, right? That is an old application or you can say legacy application that we have. So you can use other formats. Again, it depends what is your motive or what you need to achieve. But if you want to achieve a good design and with respect to APK size and everything, so all these things come together ultimately to give you a very compact application in terms of design and APK sizes as well. So recommendation is always vector royables or these SVG images that we recommend to use. So yeah, you can use PNG, JPG, and GIF images as well. So it depends upon your use case.
Okay, thank you. So one more question is from the live comment during AMA from Dharamveer Gupta, that is there something like one design for all device type? And this question is open for everyone. So like if anyone wants to pick this up.
Can you repeat, Varsha?
Yeah, the question is there something like one design for all device type?
I think it's a very subjective thing to discuss, especially in Android, where we have so many resolutions and so many different screen sizes. So definitely, like when it comes to design side, I think the 360 DP is the standard frame on which they often do the designs. So it's kind of easily scalable as long as you use a DP and SP. But like I almost on monthly basis find out one like piece of design within my app which doesn't really scale well with like lower resolution device or higher resolution device. So you might have to have some logic. If it's like a very sophisticated piece of UI which will not really work if it scales down, if it scales down really badly in some devices, then you might need some logic. But I think with 360 DP designs, which designers might use with a 480 into 360 phone, it usually scales well if you're using DP and SP in the dimensions and text dimensions. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Jitin. Any one of you, like if you want to pick this question up, you may like answer this.
Yeah, just adding to what Jatin said, there is nothing, one design for Android, right? It's if you want whatever you're designing, it's as per 360 by 640, right? It's a standard, very much standard screen in Android. But if you want to add, if you're facing specific issues regarding specific devices or a particular resolution, you can always, opt for different resolution folders and add, supportive, pixels or dimensions or values if you want. That can help you out. But again, 360 by 640 is a standard design that goes very well along with different resolutions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Kamal and Jatin, for the answering this question. I think like we are done with the questions, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was great having you with us. Thank you, and that's it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
I would love to extend my gratitude